On today's show from Bardstown, Kentucky, she's making wrestling great again. Please welcome Jessie Jones.
What about it, y'all? This is WoW superhero Jessie Jones, and you're listening to the Mike Rand Show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Mike Rand Show. And today's special guest is from WoW, Women of Wrestling. Please welcome back Jessie Jones. Hey, Jessie, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. And how about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
I am happy to be here.
You know, we started 2023 off with Jessie Jones on this show, and we're starting 2024 off with Jessie Jones on this show. And
What could
so
be
much
better?
has happened. So much has happened in a year, Jessie. Can you believe it?
Yeah. Oh, you want a rundown for people who are missing like the best women's wrestling show that's ever been created? Well, I guess we started off the year and I had been helping and tagging and kind of been friends with Americana. She kind of like forced me to be her friend. She just kept coming around and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, well, if you're going to be around, then let me train you, get you a little bit better in the ring. We'll tag and we'll do our thing. I'll help you since apparently you ain't going nowhere. Met her kid and he was okay. I mean, definitely needed to be toughened up, but it was all good until like she just got on this Miss America, Miss Goody Two Shoes, I'm too good for anything and everything, and started interfering in my matches. And anybody who knows me knows that I have one of the best records in WoW superheroes, not only history, but today. You have champions that records aren't as good as mine. Ain't that weird? But anyways, so then she starts interfering in the tag matches, interfering in my singles matches, causing me to lose. And I don't take losing kindly, okay? That's not my thing. And then, we got into it. I was really hot because I finally after let's see, since 2013 of no losses and being undefeated, like running through the entire WoW's locker room, the old one, the new one, the older newer one, the current one, because we've had a lot of insanely talented girls come in and out of WoW superheroes, and I tapped them all out, did I not? You're nodding. Yes, I did.
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
so I tapped them all out. And then finally, David, who, I don't know why I'm the one who always has to earn my spot, because everybody else seemed to just be like, here you go, take your title shot. Here you go, take your title shot. Oh, you've lost 2 or 3 title shots, but why don't you have another title shot? Meanwhile, Jessie Jones is over here pinning them, beating them, tapping them, and Jessie Jones ain't got a title shot. Everybody who Jessie Jones has beat has a title shot, but I don't have one. So finally, David agrees to give me a stipulation title shot if I can beat Genesis, and it shouldn't have been no problem. I had her beat. Americana literally distracted the referee, distracting me, allowing Genesis to roll me up. And then so after 10 years, going into the 11th year of me being on the roster, nothing but wins, beating everybody, I don't get my title shot because Americana wants to stick her nose in my business. And you know what? I was real upset about it. And I was in the locker room and I just wasn't really clear what I was going to do. And then who shows up? My old tag partner, the Bullet Babe, Amber O'Neal. And she reminds me, like, I didn't never lose. I'm not someone who gets distracted. I'm not someone who worries about little kids or like some girl's conscience or anything like that. I am Jessie Jones. I make wrestling great again. I get in there and I do the darn thing and I tap girls out. And if they don't tap quick enough, I hurt them and dislocate their shoulder. So Amber just happened to come back and remind me, girl, you better remember who you are. You better stand up and do the thing that you was taught to do. I ain't making Pops proud losing, worrying about some goody two shoes. So, yeah, I kind of told Americana where to go. Maybe I showed her or helped her get there a little bit. And then Santana Garrett runs back in because she's mad because Amber supposedly didn't treat her the way that she thought, and then she's asking to wrestle us. So what happens? They wrestle us, and then it gets counted out. I'm done. And now Americana thinks, who wants to wrestle their teacher? I know everything that you know. I know every weakness that you have. And I know 100 times, not even 100, I have forgotten more than that girl knows. If we're just being honest, and she thinks that she wants a singles match. Okay, that's where we're at today.
I mean, it's crazy because you should have gotten all those championship opportunities. Like you said, everyone's gotten an opportunity. And I want to go back a second and talk about he gave you one opportunity in the beginning of last year in that gauntlet match, which I know this was a little sketchy, Jessie, that they wouldn't show you on TV. Did you notice that? They kind of, when you got eliminated in that gauntlet match and they
Did
didn't
I?
show you. And
Did
then
I? I've taken a lot of hits to the head and a lot of concussions. So as far as I'm concerned, I wasn't there. If I don't remember it and there's no proof of it, it didn't happen. So did it happen?
that's what I have to say. And I want to know, what are your thoughts on Penelope Pink, who wound up winning that match and having that long title reign that, somebody like you that's been there for 11 years didn't have that. You didn't even get a singles one-on-one with Penelope, correct?
I know. And this is why I'm always yelling at David. People think I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy for just saying what's what. Hey, David, how come I haven't got a title shot? I ain't had no losses. Hey, David, why is, and then and then I start to get mad and I start to get frustrated and I start to go about things the way that I go about them. And then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, if you was the best person at your job, no matter what your job is, if you were the best person and you'd been there for a decade and you always did your job, you did a good job, and whatnot, nobody better than you, but they kept promoting everybody else after you, whether they were there after you or they could do your job or they could light a candle to you, wouldn't you be upset too?
Exactly.
All right. That's my whole issue. Notice the only people that get title shots and that are circling around the tag belts and the championship belts, they got managers or they got lawyers. They got somebody pushing paperwork and playing politics. I don't do that. That ain't what it's about. You know what was great about wrestling that I'm trying to make great about wrestling again is back in the old days, in the territory days, there wasn't no favorites. It was the best. If you were the best, you were the champion. If you were the best, you got put up for that championship match. You tell me somebody who's better than me and I'll prove you wrong.
Tell us about what it was like in the beginning with Americana, because you two seem to be getting along okay in the beginning. So how was she in the beginning of your friendship?
In the beginning of our friendship, she just seemed like this really sweet, woman trying to raise her kid by herself, trying to go through wrestling training, trying to work out life and everything like that. And it seemed to me like she was working hard. Maybe she just needed a little help. She came in and had my back a couple of times. So, it was good. I was training, we were working out in the ring. I was training her, running her in drills, teaching her stuff. She was working hard. She came out to Kentucky. She helped me through my knee surgery when I had ACL surgery and I was out for like a long time. She took care of me, and you know what? I appreciate that. However, that amount that she helped me out ain't nothing in the amounts of what my training and me helping her in the ring and all that exclusive one-on-one ring time was worth. So I don't care. Like, yeah, she's sweet and we were cool for a while, but as soon as you start sticking your nose in my business, my individual business, I'm not talking about our tag matches, I'm talking about my matches. As soon as you start sticking your nose in my business where it does not belong, I might have to break it.
And now you mentioned the ACL surgery. Can you tell us how you're feeling today and what steps you had to do to come to your recovery?
You know what? I'm great today. I'm absolutely 110% now. I did definitely come back before I was supposed to. And you know what? That might be a tiny factor in one of my two losses. Tiny. tiny factor, but it was definitely I'm putting it on Americana's dang kid yelling and screaming at me. The way he was screaming, I would have thought that Fury or them Psycho Sisters was attacking him in the stands. He screams and I'm like looking around like what's going on, and then I get rolled up by BK in the tights. Can you see how frustrating that is? Why are you screaming? Because you don't want me to break her arm? She can still rap. She has another arm to hold her microphone. I don't care if she's your favorite. I like BK too. We're both gingers, all right? So we got a little bit in common. I like her. I think she's great. But I don't like the fact that she beat me because I was distracted by a snot-nosed little brat.
Now, what kind of discussions have you had with BK about that win? Has she come up to you and has she bragged that she beat you? Or have there been any sort of conversations after that?
Oh, she mentioned, I heard her, and it was not to me. This is me walking through locker rooms, and she had mentioned, she'd be like, she said, "Oh, yeah, well, I broke Jessie Jones's streak." And I just happened to be coming around the corner, and I said, "You try doing that without a little brat in the crowd when you have my full focused and recovered attention. I bet you can't do it again." And she's just like,
And what was it like as well facing the heavy metal sisters, Fury and Razor?
well, let's just say I still got a bone to pick with Fury. Not be your femur. You know, I might lay off the shoulder for once just so I can return the favor. And that's all I'm gonna say about them right now. If y'all are listening, just know I ain't forgotten. And it might be a year or 2 years down the road until I think that you've forgotten, and then I am coming for you. I promise.
And then you also did have some battles with the Team Exile as well. Now you did beat Ice Cold on one-on-one, but like you said, your other loss was to Genesis. So what was the difference between those two matches? Was it because Americana's son Levi was distracting you, or what
No,
what
no, it's Americana. Literally Americana. Did you not see her in one match? She literally shoves me off of the pin. She literally draws the referee when I have the pin. That is why I lost. Had the referee been there and not bothering with her, he would have been counting Genesis's shoulders. Period. That's all it is. Americana is the only factor in that loss.
Now was that the last straw with Americana, or was there something else that happened?
No, that was it. I was done. I was so furious at that point in time. Honestly, I thought she was the one walking into the locker room when I looked up and saw Amber. And had it been her at that point in time, I might not have even needed Amber to be there because I would have put her through my own locker.
Now, Americana was concerned, about the way that you were wrestling and whether or not you were being a good example to Levi. So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that you were a good example to him?
It ain't my job to be a good example to him. You don't want your kid around violence and something that's not a good example, don't bring them to wrestling. All right? Like, because wrestling's violent. People get hit, people get hurt, people get broken, they get bloody. So don't complain to me about what I'm doing when you're the one that's subjugating your child to violence. I don't want to hear it. It ain't my problem. It ain't my responsibility. You're so worried about what they're seeing, what they're absorbing, and what they're learning. Don't bring them to the show. Get a babysitter and leave them at home. And maybe you might start winning more too, worried about your opponent and not blowing a kiss to your kid in the stands. Because when you got an opponent like me, and this is what she doesn't realize, I know that she's just going to be like, "I'm just so happy to have my kid there and watch me wrestle." Okay, Supermom, but here's the thing. I know what you do every single time. Every single time that you get just the tiniest little second, you look into that crowd and you try to find out where he's sitting so you can blow him a kiss. As soon as you turn your back on me, that's it. That's what's going to happen. Don't turn your eye on a snake. I'm going to get you.
And now, can you define the term Americana and tell me if she embodies that term?
I don't know what Americana means. I don't know. I know the fans cheer USA, wanting to cheer for them, but we're the ones wearing American flags, and both of us are from the USA, so that don't make no sense. I mean, she like maybe she's the turn, like maybe she's the American dream. All right, you know what? The proof that a single mom can like do some stuff, and props to her, she's doing it. Good for you. Do it away from me.
And now, as you mentioned, Amber O'Neil has come back. Tell us what it's been like having Amber back on your side.
Oh my gosh. It's like this huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders because I've been doing this professional wrestling and training since 2005. Okay. If that gives you any amount of knowledge, and I've worked with the best in the world, I've worked with ECW stars and WCW. I have trained with the greatest. Okay. And Amber O'Neil has been doing this even longer than me, and she is equally talented. So you're talking about a tag team in WoW. Me and her combined have more experience than almost the rest of the roster combined. What do you think we're going to do? I have somebody who has my back no matter what, 100%. She ain't going to judge nothing that I do. And I'm going to have her back exactly the same. What do you think's going to happen? If David is not going to let us get nowhere close to them tag titles because he knows they'll never go anywhere. Why do you think he had to strip me of them last time?
Yep. And what do you have to say now that Santana Garrett has come back into the picture and is teaming with Americana? Is she going to help Americana? Because I mean, you've already beaten them. So what is Santana going to do for Americana's game now, do you think?
That's yet to be seen because every time that I've known Santana before and after her hiatus, Santana's more about Santana. Santana wants to be that world champion. Santana, I believe, is going to ditch Americana because if you don't uplift her, she's way too self-absorbed to have somebody dragging her down. It's just I'm the only one honest enough to admit it. I'll at least say it.
Now, do you and Amber have your eyes set on the tag team titles? And I also want to know, is there any possibility you may enter the trios tournament, and who would be your partner if you did?
Well, if we can get after them tag titles and find a weasel our way in ourselves without brown nosing David or politicking, playing lawyers and stuff like that, I think I can find a loophole. I might have to write Jeannie Buss about this and be like, hey, Jeannie, Jessie Jones here, my partner Amber O'Neil. Did you know that we have more? I'll give us a few matches until I have something to say. And if they ain't already putting us in contention for tag belt opportunities, maybe I'll write the big boss. Maybe I'll go past David, go down to the Lakers Stadium and talk to Miss Jeannie and be like, hey, Miss Jeannie, I feel like we're not getting the equal opportunities here at WoW that we deserve. And you know what? She's so amazing and she wants to make sure everybody's taken care of. She will be like, you know what, Jessie Jones? You're right. Facts are facts. And you and Amber should have a #1 contendership for them WoW tag team titles. And I think she'll make it happen. So either David's going to see it and he's going to make it happen, or I'm just going to go above his head.
Has any of these new girls that you've seen in the past year earned your respect?
Hmm. I stayed myself so much, and most of the girls are scared of me. So I'd say Genesis maybe a little bit. No. Um, you can't earn my respect unless you can go toe to toe with me. So if you ain't been in the ring with me, you ain't earned it yet.
Okay, fair enough. And now, Jessie, it is time for the lightning round, where I'm going to ask you some questions and let's see which one you prefer. So,
All right.
which do you think is more accurate, a horoscope or a fortune cookie?
Neither.
Would you rather get stung by a bee or get a sunburn?
Stung by a bee.
Cupcakes or brownies?
Cupcakes.
Would you rather sit on a balcony or on a porch?
Porch.
Pay now or pay later?
Now.
Would you rather be an astronaut in outer space, or would you rather go underwater in a submarine and discover new life?
Underwater.
Trust everyone or trust no one?
Just like Pops used to always say, DTA, don't trust anybody, except maybe Amber.
Flip a coin or rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors.
What is worse bad luck? Breaking a mirror over your head by having a mirror broken over your head by Lana Starr, or you actually breaking the mirror?
I don't believe in superstition, so it'd be bad luck for Lana if she happened to catch me slipping and break a mirror over my head, because I would come at her like a duck on a June bug, and I ain't playing.
Would you rather read faster or write faster?
Read faster.
Would you rather mow a lawn or weed a garden?
I like to do both.
And finally, which would you rather do? Would you rather attend an all-American ball game with Santana Garrett or eat an all-American apple pie baked by Americana?
Well, I saw the help, so I ain't eating nobody's pie that they bring me. And if I go to an all-American ball game with Santana, chances are I'll find me an all-American baseball bat. So let's go with that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you tell everybody how they can find you on social media?
Absolutely, y'all. You can find me as Wow Jessie Jones on everything. Put that in your search and you'll find me.
Yep, and be sure to catch WoW every weekend on CBS, CW stations, and syndication. Thank you guys for watching today. Follow me on social media as well. All the links are at the end of this show, and we will talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.